Hi guys, welcome to my first ever history vlog. This one is about Warwick Castle, which I visited in the town of Warwick a couple weeks ago. I only went for the day just to visit the castle, which I'm really excited to show you guys. I'll bring you along.
We have our history now that dates back 1,102 years. 914 is our first fortress, so that's before the age of castles. Back then all we had was the town of Warwick and a rather large wooden wall with 4 entranceways, known as an Anglo-Saxon burh.
Alright, slow down guy. An Anglo-Saxon burg is a Old English fortification or a fortified settlement. So it's a town that has walls around it. I have the town of Warwick, which was surrounded by the 4 walls with a few gates here and there, but really strong and really protected. Just a little history of the town of Warwick. I did a bit of research. The book was called The Buildings of Warwick. In 1694, there was the Great Warwick Fire. Center buildings in the center of the town did survive. The timber from those buildings is the original timber that were used to build the houses.
I literally don't know how these houses are still standing up. They're so crooked.
Main income for Warwick right now is tourists to the castle. It is their most important income, their largest income. They get about 500,000 visitors a year to the castle.
These passes look like condoms, especially that one. Key to my castle.
I thought the city was absolutely amazing. Okay, let's head back to the castle.
But everything we have is made possible thanks to great families, namely the Earls of Warwick.
Okay, so we have a long list of Earls of Warwick and people who have owned Warwick Castle since it's being built in 1066. So I meant to put the Earls and the owners of the castle into my video, but unfortunately some formatting issues happened and I wasn't able to do it. So I'm gonna put that information down in the description box.
I do have the impression you want to hold something old.
I absolutely did want to hold something old. That tour guide really got it on the money. He let me hold a 400-year-old sword that was used by a nobleman back in medieval times. It was really heavy and really thin, which was pretty crazy. The handle of it was solid gold. Rusted over, so you couldn't really see the gold shining through. The whole thing was really rusted over. The tip of it was broken off, stabbed in the middle of somebody's dead body somewhere. And I was really lucky to be able to hold something that crazy. Made my hands sweat a little bit. I don't even want to like move it. Kind of taught me how they would have used these swords. It wouldn't have been like slashing combat. It would have been very close.
Imagine you're surrounded by men. You can't really do that. So in fact, the way you would use a sword would be like that. You've got the gauntlets on, they're leather, so you can hold onto the sharp blade quite easily. And now you've got a much better weapon. You can use it like that, use it like that, you can whack him like that, you can get him like that.
And just be surrounded by all of these like this old armor, these old weapons, everything they used to use. And it was a really neat experience. So without further ado, I'll take you through some of the rooms of the castle that I was able to take a look at. I saw some pretty cool stuff in this castle, so I'm excited to show you as well. Earls of Warwick actually had a great time buying things from different areas around the world, different areas of England, and bringing it to Warwick Castle. This bedroom has Queen Anne's deathbed. Queen Anne died in that bed. They wouldn't let me lie in it. I tried, got yelled at, but that's fine. It would have been worth it. The rest of the tapestries were hers as well, and the sofa. Now I know that Madame Tussauds does wax figures, but these were kind of creepy because they were King Henry VIII and his 6 wives. And then downstairs they kind of had set up a whole thing that made it look like they were about to go into a battle, go into war. Now, the creepiest part of this whole castle, as old as it is the dungeon. Now, some very narrow, dark, wet stairs, and then you get into this room where you can still see the shackle holes, and then there's like carved things on the wall, people writing their names and the dates that they were staying there. And there was the oubliette, which literally translates from French into forget, because they would put the worst of the prisoners in there. It was just a hole in the floor with a grate over top of your head, and you didn't get any light or anything in there. And the waste from the castle would also go down into that hole, so you would just be sitting in other people's waste and in the darkness, and you would never get fed, and you were essentially forgotten, which was the point. All in all, Warwick Castle in January was amazing. I can only imagine in the summer when they have the jousting and they have the food stalls open, it would be such a great thing to do with your family on a really nice summer day. I felt so lucky to have been able to check that out and spend a day there. So hopefully if you guys are ever in the area, go check it out because it was actually very worth it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Can you say hi? No? Say hi. Camera shy.